Hey, Mr. Arkert here, and in this video we're going to be making this blog template. Now, the blog template was heavily inspired by a micro theme for the micro text editor, where you have the status bar here, and then the footer is also a status bar, and then you've got this kind of double border here. But I can't find the micro theme that I used earlier today to make it. I might have uninstalled it. But so anyways, we are going to use micro. If you're wondering where I picked the colors from, well, that's it. So we're going to go through the process. This is just going to be an HTML and CSS project. And the reason why I'm doing this is, well, because I want to, but also I have my Tim Arkert XYZ blog that I just made, like this 90s blog that I just started. And I figured, you know, I do like these kind of blogs because they give you the most information, it seems like, because people spend too much time on the CSS and not enough time on actually conveying any actual information. So I find sites that look old actually give you the most information. But I still want to modernize it a bit. So I kind of came across a compromise for myself, which was to have a blog that kind of has a semi-modern look, but also kind of has that coder look to it. You know, it's kind of like this like dark theme. You got the computer in the background. You know, I'm a coder. So anyways, we're going to get started. Let's cd into our projects folder, and let's create a folder. We're going to call it simple. I'm going to call it simple dark theme blog template. That's a bit long, but you know, it's descriptive of what it is. And I'm going to cd into my simple dark theme. I'm already getting tired typing this template. Made it a little bit long. Anyways, I am going to now create an index.html file by just typing touch index.html and then a space and also style.css. We're not going to do any JavaScript for this one. And this is just going to be the desktop version. So it's just going to be that for right now. And maybe in a future video, I'll show you how I mobile optimize it, but not today. Okay, so I'm going to open the index.html with the micro text editor. And here's my theme. Here's my theme. Now, what is this theme? Okay, hold on one sec, because I uninstalled it on the other one, my notes computer. So I'm going to quit out of here, and I could not find it on my other computer. Maybe I was looking at this one. Okay, let's, you know where you can figure this stuff out. I go into the micro folder, and I want to go into, I want to open the settings.json. Okay, I've got Dracula True Color. I changed my terminal on the other computer. Okay, so Dracula True Color on this one is this one. And I thought it was, and I was like, I thought I was losing it. But anyways, all right, so that's where I got it from. Let's go back to this other folder because I was using my other computer at the time. Okay, so that's the theme I'm going to base this off of, based on this terminal coloring. Okay, so it may look a little different in a different terminal emulator. I have Terminator with the Dracula theme in it, and then I have Micro with the Dracula True Color theme in it. So that's how I'm getting that color. Okay, all right. Too much information, perhaps. All right, so we're going to start our index.html file, and we're going to go ahead and declare a doc type of HTML, and we're going to have our opening and closing HTML tags. Okay, and then we also want to have our head of our document and our body of our document. Okay, so we have the opening and closing tags for that. We also want our metas. And a nice way to comment something out is if you just type the word in micro, like word, and then just hit control and / and it comments it out. And then if I want to X that line out, I just hit control X. Okay. But anyway, so, all right, we're going to have a meta. I really like that. I just, it helps me enjoy it. All right, so meta car set is UTF-8, and then we want to have a viewport. So we're going to do that. Viewport content is going to be width equals device dash width initial scale equals 1.0. Okay, we're also going to have a description for the search engines. Now I would describe something about my blog maybe, but so I'll do that. This is a technology blog that can give you the latest information. Okay, cool. All right, and what's next? Title. So you could call this simple blog, but I'm going to call this, it's going to be the homepage for my website, timunkert.xyz. It's one of my many domains that I have. I have too many, but that's okay. All right, we want to have our CSS styling. So I'm going to make a little comment that we're going to have that. All right. The link is going to be, the relation is a style sheet, and the type is text/CSS. And we're bringing in my style.css. I really don't need that type, but sometimes I include it anyways. All right, we'll go down to the body now, and we'll start on our process. I'm going to incorporate some Google fonts in a moment, but not yet. I am enjoying one beer. I don't have too many beers, but I'm enjoying one of them. So let's see. Okay, so we're going to have a div with a class of hero. And then within that, we're going to have a nav with a class of hero-nav. And then in there, this is going to be our nav menu at top. So we're going to have an unordered list. And then we're going to have a list item. And I'm going to have this little pipe. And then the link. We're just having two items in this list. Okay, so that's it for now. So index.html. And I'm also going to have my link to my YouTube channel. I won't bore you with going and getting that. You can link in. This is just for example, so I won't do this link right now for the video. And it's going to be YouTube. Now, if you see the status bar, everything's undercase or lowercase. I believe in the CSS I did put it actually specify as text transform to lowercase, but I also am writing in lowercase just to emulate this theme. With a few modifications, because if you look at it, let's take a look. We've got a few things, this yellow, I kind of just picked bright yellow. There's, I'll show you the vertical split, but the border is a little different when you have the two windows. But, I took some of the colors from this, and I'll show you how I got those and how I managed to figure those out. Okay, so that ends our nav. And then we want a heading in our nav. So I'm going to do an H1, and I'm going to give it a class of hero heading. I may use this class, I may not. I may specify this a different way through CSS. All right, so this is Tim's web development blog. Okay, and we're going to close out the hero div. Okay. Then I have, after that, a content div. Okay, that's where the content of the blogs and the sidebar is going to go. And we're going to have a div with a class of blog section. Okay. And again, I just created this morning. I didn't necessarily use all these, but, you do want to put your classes and descriptive classes of things that you're putting. So we're going to have a section with each post. So if you look here, I have a post here, and I have another post, keep reading, and then another post. And I didn't put anything, keep reading. I should have done that. But and then I have the sidebar over here. You have the latest posts. These are just generic about myself, and that's it. Okay, so it's just basically setting up a blog. Okay, So first one, we started with the GitHub's API project, which, by the way, GitHub Jobs API is no longer. So I actually didn't do that, but I was going to, and then I found out it was no longer. Well, I think it's still up, but it's not being actively maintained. Okay, so if I click on that, I can grab this paragraph here, copy it, and just hit Control-Shift-V and paste that in, and then I'll put my closing paragraph tag, and then I'm going to have a paragraph tag, and the link is not going to go anywhere because this is for demonstration purposes, and we're just going to have a keep reading. ... Close out my link, close out my paragraph, and then we'll close out our section. Okay, so that's one section. Okay. And we're going to do the same process for the next few sections. So let's go up, and I'm going to do Alt-E to get to the end of the line, Shift, and go back and go to the start of the line. Whoops. Start of the line here, Control-C. Actually, you know what? No. Alt-E. What am I doing? Alt-E, not Control-E. Alt-E, Shift, highlight all this stuff. Go here, and I'm going to copy it. Then we're going to go down here and paste it just with Control-C and Control-V. And my next blog is going to be about... We're going to keep the same format for each of these. So running macros in command line editors. Macros are very cool to do, and they speed up some of the time that you do things, so it might be worth it. All right, let's go here, and we'll just go here and delete that with Control-X, and I'm going to go over here to my blog and just pick something from this post. I think I picked just this one paragraph here, Control-C, and then Control-Shift-V to paste it into my terminal. Okay, we're good with that one. I'm going to hold the Shift down and copy this section here. Control-C, and then go down here, paste it with Control-V. Okay, so next one is on terminal text editor. So Alt-E gets me to the end of the line, and then I'm just going to hold down the Shift. I'm going to have to delete that last letter. Control-X to get rid of that. Okay, and then the next one is terminal. So this is just me putting in some content. All right, so let's move this up. Alt-E. Nope. I hit Control-E sometimes. It's going to be Alt-E. Control-E brings up the command. So if I do Control-E, you'll see it come down here, and I can set my color scheme or something like that with micro. Okay, but I don't want to do that, so I'm going to escape out of that. Now, if I hold down the Shift, oops, and I was holding down the Control. All right, if I hold down the Shift and just use the arrow keys, I can, highlight this stuff. And I think I can go back through words quicker. I'm not an expert with the micro shortcuts just yet, but all right. So that was on macros, and then this one was on the terminal text editor. So I'm going to just grab this big paragraph here, Control-C, and paste it. Okay. And all the source code for this will be in the link below, so you can check this out if you want to experiment it with yourself, or if you want dummy text. One thing I would suggest is going and Googling lorem ipsum, and then you can get lorem ipsum text. Some text editors with Emmet, you can just type in lorem and then a number like 100, and then it gives you 100 words. Like you can do that with VS Code. Adam's Emmet plugin allows you to do that. So if you're using one of those, you can do it. But I'm using a terminal text editor. It doesn't have that feature. I just like the terminal text editors. They're lightweight, they're very lightweight, they're nice, and I like spending time in the terminal. So, the other stuff, it's not a huge advantage really, and it can be a detriment in some ways, I think. But that's a different post for a different day. Okay, so we're going to now copy this section. So Control C and Control V. And this post I was writing was, why does this website look like it was made in the 90s? Now, I probably won't want to include this if I re-update my site, because I'm updating it, but I'm not sure I will update it just yet. Okay, so I'm just going to pick a random paragraph that has a little bit of content there. Okay, copy that. We'll go to the end of the line here and hold down Shift, and then go on here and delete all this stuff. Okay, Control Shift V to paste that in. I should probably put a question mark here, proper grammar. Okay, keep reading. So we finished the sections. Okay, now we want to close out this div. So we'll close out the div, and then we're going to have a div with an ID of sidebar. Okay, and section ID is going to be latest posts. Okay, and we're going to have, scroll down a little bit. Okay, we're going to have third level heading with the latest posts. Okay, and close that out. And within this section, we're also going to have some list items. There's going to be 5. I'm just going to hit Control D 4 times to copy that down to the previous line. That's a nice little feature with Micro that speeds up your process. If you're doing that in Vim, you do YY and then PPP, which is also very, very fast. Okay, if you're interested in that productivity stuff. Okay, we're going to close out this section. Okay, and then we're going to have another section. The ID is going to be about the author. Okay, and I'm going to have another third level heading about the author. Okay, and we're going to have an unordered list, and or are we going to have an unordered list? No, we're not going to have an unordered list just yet. I'm going to have an image with a source. I'm going to make an images folder, so it's going to be images/tim.jpg. That's going to be me. Class is going to be, and I didn't actually use this, but I was planning on rounding it, but then I thought it looked nice squared. So, but if I did want to round it, I would set the border radius to 100%. Okay, and then we're going to have a paragraph. Tim Unkert is a full stack web developer and former high school teacher. He hopes that this blog, along with his, and then I'm going to include a link, and we're going to have it open on another tab, so target is going to be blank. YouTube channel, and I would post in the link for my YouTube channel, will help others on web development and mathematics, therefore bettering their lives, which is true. Opens up a lot of doors. Okay, and then I had that I had the following courses. So I'm going to create an unordered list, and then in the other ordered list, I'm going to have my list items. Okay, and I'm just going to hit Control D. Get, that looks good. I might have to add one or something. I'm going to pause the video and then just enter in the courses I have here, because you don't need me to watch me fill out all these. So let's just go back here. Let's bring this down. I'll pause the video, do that quickly. You'll see I'm running Screencastify, so I'm just going to... Okay, I unpaused my video. Let's just move that over. And added some of the classes that I taught. Okay, so, all right, we've closed out our list. And then let's close out our div for the sidebar, and then close out the div for the content. And let's see. Okay, and then I want the footer. So I'm going to have a div with an ID of footer. Okay, and then within the footer, I'm going to give a paragraph of a class of center, which I'm going to have to make these classes. And so I'm going to have it in that kind of this lower bar format like here. So index.html is the page that we're on. And then copyright. And we'll have the copyright symbol, which I do with that. 2021, Timothy Hunkert. Okay, and I actually am going to text transform this all to lowercase. All rights reserved. I can spell here, and then website developed by Timothy Hunkert. Okay, and then I'm going to close out that paragraph tag, and then close out the div. All right, and I think that's it for our HTML. Let's take a look and see what this looks like right now. So we'll go to our projects, simple dark theme blog template, and you'll see it's very much pictures are missing. We have to add the pictures. It doesn't look anything like this, okay? But we're going to make it look like this in the next video with CSS. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be the CSS that makes this work, and we're going to go get the image for the hero background, and it's going to look cool like it does here. All right.